All right, we are finally getting ready to close out some trig. We're going to fit some sine function to some data. So, with this, we have all this data that's up here. The first thing we want to do on A is graph that data. Notice I've labeled my x and my axis. So we are going to graph the data. I'm not going to connect any of the dots. I'm just going to place dots. So at 1, we're at 23.8, which this is going to be your best estimate. At 2, you're at 27.7. And at 3, you're at 37. 4, we're at 48.9. On 5, we're at 59. And at 6, you're at 68. 7, we're all the way up at 74. 8, we are back down at 72. And 9, we're at 64. And at 10, it goes to 52. And 11 is at 40.3. And then at 12, we're back down in the 27. So again, we're kind of graphing, estimating. You kind of get this curve feel to it. B says write a model in the form y equals a times the sine 1 over b times x minus h plus k. So doing all of that, to find b, we're going to use the same process that we used before with writing the equation. So now that we've got our data graphed, I'm going to slide this down just a little bit. So to find b, I'm going to actually use the fact that to find b before, I would take 2b times 2 pi times b to figure out how many cycles I was going to have, and that was equal to, in this case, 12. So we have a length of 12. So when we solve this for b, we divide out the 2 pi. That means b is equal to 6 over pi. Now, looking at 6 over pi, remember, I don't want b, I want 1 over b. So that's going to be pi over 6. So now I know, looking at my equation right here, I've got pi over 6 there. So that's my b value. That's what's going to get plugged in. Now, looking a little bit further, it says k is the average of the high and the low. So I'm going to move this down, see if you guys can see this all the way. K is the average of the high and the low, the vertical average. So my high point is 74, and my low point is 23.8. So to find k, I'm going to take the average. Average means I add them together, and I divide it by 2. When I do that, you get 48.9. H is the month that matches K. So I'm going to go back to my table. I'm looking for 48.9. Well, looking here, 48.9, probably sliding on down, is right here. That means my H value is the one that goes with that K. So H in this case is 4. So we're going back to the other side of the board. So H equals 4. Easy peasy. A is the asymptote. It's half the difference between the high and the low. The difference here is this is A, you subtract the values, and K, you're adding them. So to find my A, I'm going to say 74 minus 23.8 divided by 2. Half the difference. So when we subtract them and divide it, we get 25.1. Now that I have A, I have B, I have H and K, I'm ready to write that function in this form. So y equals, A we said was 25.1 sine pi over 6 times x minus h, which is 4, plus k, which is 48.9. Oops. And there is the equation. Short notes, make sure you have it all down.